That, of course, is Canadian musician Alan Doyle and his single, So Let's Go. Doyle is getting together with some fellow musicians to help out the people of Fort McMurray. He joins us now live from St. John's to talk about the traveling circus-like concert he organized for tonight. And Alan, you've spent the morning at the CBC parking lot, co-hosting the radio show, serving some coffee to people going by with a donation. So how has this morning been so far?
Man, people get up early. I had no idea, to be honest with you. It was amazing. I came in to help Anthony and the gang host the morning show here in St. John's. And there's been a lineup behind us just up until recently when the show ended of people making donations. I think the entire province of Newfoundland and Labrador in particular was moved by the fires and the people who had to be evacuated into Fort McMurray. And we all jumped to our feet as quick as we could to help.
And that's because there's such a huge connection, right, between Newfoundland and Fort McMurray. So tell me a little bit about why you wanted to get involved.
I think, you know, Newfoundlanders have always been quick, I think, to help. I mean, it's sort of our nature of being a rock in the middle of the ocean. I think that we know we have to protect and help everybody in tragedy because we see a good share of it out here. And in particular, as you say, with Newfoundland and Fort McMurray, there's so many people from Newfoundland and Labrador and from Atlantic Canada that are working there, and that it feels like, you know, Fort Mac has been, you know, our second city, you know, or our second home away from home or whatever. And so I think we have a kinship with it, and we all personally know people that work there and commute back and forth. So there are so many different lines of connection between Newfoundland and Fort McMurray that I think we all wanted to help. And in particular with what we're doing tonight, it's the music community has jumped up to help, and certainly the music community has always been great here to jump up when support is needed. So we're doing this very cool festival that you probably couldn't pull off in many cities, but you can do it in St. John's. We have 3 participating small music venues in downtown St. John's, and over 30 acts have donated their time, and you can rove between one of 3 places. You can make a donation at each one to the Canadian Red Cross and see about 5 or 6 hours of music from the likes of myself, and Matt Mays has flown in from Halifax for it, Tim Baker from Hey Rosetta, Irish Descendants, the Ennis Sisters, goes on and on. It's really a who's who of the Newfoundland music scene. Do
you know how jealous and upset I am that I'm not going to be in St. John's tonight? It sounds like an amazing evening. Tell us more, though, a little bit. You know, I mean, you talk about the importance of doing this, but not everyone makes that choice to do what you've been doing. But was there anything about what you saw, the images that you saw when you heard, people on the news, the talking about what was happening in Fort McMurray that hit you on a visceral, personal level?
I think just very practical things. Like when you see people get displaced, you just know right away, because I travel a lot and I know what it's like to be away from home a lot. And you don't have your stuff, and you don't have your things. And when people get displaced, they very practically need bottles of water, they need toothbrushes, and all that stuff costs money. And when it's 1,000 people, that costs a lot of money. When it's 2,000, that's a lot more money, and so on and so on. And there's just so many people that will need so many practical things. And thank God for people like the Red Cross who are on the ground doing it. And thank God for the firemen and the police and the emergency response people who are on the ground helping. The least we can do is go out, sing a few songs, try to encourage the general public to come and donate for a good cause. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket what we're doing, but we're doing our best.
Do you think, it's interesting to see what's happening in Fort McMurray? As you say, I think it probably would be the second biggest city if it were in Newfoundland, the second or third, with 10, 15,000 Newfoundlanders who live there. We've seen the hit in the oil prices in Newfoundland. We've seen that austerity budget from the government. It just seems to be this is a tough time for Newfoundlanders, whether you live in Newfoundland or if you live in Fort McMurray. How do you kind of give people hope that things will get better?
Well, if like I said earlier, if Newfoundlanders are good at one thing, it's dealing with hard times. We only really had one blip of good times, and that's just passed. And so, it's part of the nature of where we live and the lifestyle out here is that you roll with the punches. You work hard and you play hard, and that you celebrate the good times a little harder than most people do probably, and you stick together during the hard times probably a little better than most people do. It's just the nature of where we're from and who we are as a people, I think.
If it's any consolation, I've got 3 close friends who are visiting Newfoundland for the first time this summer. They want to see it, they hear about it, and so they're going. People are going to Newfoundland more and more, and that's a good thing.
Down.
That's a bright spot. For people, though, across Canada who wish they could be part of tonight, I'm one of them, what would you say to them?
I'd say just help us out and just go online and donate to the Canadian Red Cross or any of the charities that are helping the people practically on the ground there. A real quick and easy way to do it is just type capital letters Red Cross to the number 30333 on any cell phone, and you'll see a prompt that will ask if you want to donate $5. It's quick and easy. You'll do it in 10 seconds. Do it a couple of times, and it'll all help.